top 5 reasons people cheat. These are going to be different for men and women. So as a woman,
Yeah.
what is the number one reason you would cheat?
Because I will feel emotionally unattached from
That's
that
right.
person.
That's-
And when I attempted to communicate, I have felt unheard.
Right, right.
And I guess lack of everything from his part.
Yeah. It's interesting, though, that you say emotional disconnection, we'll say, for lack of a better word, because that is the number one reason people cheat.
Women.
Women, that's the number one
Yes.
reason women cheat.
Yes.
Men also cheat for that same reason, although it's just not nearly as much. Men mostly cheat because they can.
Yeah.
They have an opportunity. But for women, it's the emotional disconnection. And that's number one. Number 2 is opportunity and rationalization. This goes exactly what I just said about men. They have the opportunity. Hey, like that movie, what was that movie?
Fatal Attraction?
Fatal Attraction, yeah. This guy, his wife goes to the country for the weekend to visit her parents, and he, sleeps with that woman, basically messes up his life.
Right.
He had the opportunity.
Yes. Because they're thinking with the wrong head.
Yeah, they're looking with the little head instead
Yeah.
of the big one.
Yeah.
Like, what a fucking idiot. I'm not the sharpest tool in this shed, but my God, if I'm happily married with a beautiful wife and daughter,
Yes.
I'm not gonna be doing that.
Yeah. Everything is perfect in
Hell
life
no.
until you guys mess it up.
Here's a story, and my ex-wife probably doesn't even know this, but if she's listening, this is a story about when my son was like maybe 5 or 6 years old, and I was all about my family, work, church, and home, and I brought this woman. Her name was Elizabeth. She asked me for a ride to the local clinic. She didn't have a way to get there. I'm like, all right, yeah, fine. I'll
Hold
take
on.
it.
And how did you meet this woman? Who
She
is
worked for me, my
Okay.
bakery.
Okay.
I had a commercial bakery at the time. We made pound cakes and muffins
Okay.
for like private label. It wasn't like a mom and pop bakery. It was a big industrial bakery, kind of like a Little Debbie's or something like that. So this woman asked me, I know many of these people who from El Salvador and Honduras, they come here with no money.
Right.
So she didn't have a car. And I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll take you. She asked me. I'm like, all right, not a big deal.
So I'm going to stop you right there 1 second.
Yeah.
Is that a normal behavior from her to you? I'll ask you. If that happens
Yeah.
today,
Yeah.
if an employee asked you for a ride, is that okay?
Yeah, back then, yeah, it was normal because, as I said, the nature of those employees. They're all from Central American nations, countries where they're very, very poor. They don't have driver's license. They can't afford a car. And usually they have one member of the family who drives them around everywhere. And if a member of the family is busy, they're pretty much fucked.
Okay.
So she had this situation where she needed to go to the local clinic. So I drive her to the local clinic. And before she gets out of the car, she leans over and kisses me on the lips.
Oh.
And I was like,
So-
thank you. Bye.
I go back to my first question.
Right.
You should not have done that.
Probably not. Probably not. But, you're just trying to be a nice guy. Here I am. I'm her boss. I have maybe 20 or 30 employees there. I've helped others out before doing the same exact thing. I've had many other female employees where they need a ride home because maybe their husband got caught up at work or something. And I do that for these people.
They have a husband. But in this case, you actually may, and I told you this in the past, if you do a favor, what happens? They misinterpret. your
Well,
intention.
obviously this girl did, but I wasn't thinking anything else like that. So anyway, get to the point. Now,
Yeah.
she kissed me on the lips, didn't do anything, didn't put hands on me or anything, but I just thought that it was inappropriate.
Inappropriate,
So
yes.
the next day I let her go. I'm like, I'm not having you come make problems for my marriage and my family. That ain't fucking happening.
Yes.
And I use this as an example from time to time, only to let people know that you can't control everything that enters your life, but you can control what stays in your life.
Yes.
And if you have a threat like that where you think, hey, this might fuck up the harmony, get rid of it. Because if you don't, you're just asking for trouble.
Right.
So
And it
I
also-
had an opportunity. I could have fucked her in the back of my car. I'm like, no
Absolutely.
way.
And it is a simple
No,
conversation to be had.
Yeah.
Either you establish a boundary with that person, or you, obviously, because you were able to, you
Yeah,
could let
she
her
had-
go. But you have to say, no, I'm married. This is not
Yeah.
happening, period.
Well, if she had maybe make other indications, like through conversation, or if she was touchy-feely with me, things like that, I would have never let her in my car.
Of course.
I would have taken care of that before it even happened.
Right.
But this is the first indication I had that there was any interest at all.
Right.
Maybe she does that with everybody who gives her a ride. I don't know. If she does, she shouldn't. But regardless, yeah, I let her go because I'm like, I'm protecting what's important to me.
Right.
And if more people did that, if they didn't just jump on the opportunity because it's there,
Right.
their lives would be a lot simpler, easier,
Yes.
calm.
Yes.
Because let's face it, I could have. Maybe I couldn't have jumped into bed with her, but I could have pursued it and maybe it turned into something. But fuck that. That ain't worth it.
Right. And they do say that men go as far as women let them.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
A woman will go as far as you let her.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of trouble for that. Not that kind of trouble, but only because women don't like to be rejected.
Yeah.
And I will. I'm not. We're not sleeping. No, we're not doing that unless I want to.
Yeah, I've heard the stories.
Yeah. That's just the way I am. What are you going to do anyway? Number 3, sexual dissatisfaction,
Oh yeah, that's
dead bedroom, mismatch libidos. I hear this a lot too, where women mainly complain that their husband doesn't take the time.
yes.
It's all about him. He might just like do the once over. He'll stop in the middle just to get everything nice and warmed up, and then he'll just go about his business. And
Yes.
okay, it's all over, and he's taken care of, and now we both go to sleep.
Right. And I have to say that this is obviously sex is very important for women too, just as it is
Yeah.
for guys, but it's not the most important thing in the list. So
Yeah.
for us, family comes first, how the husband is with the kids comes first, and
Sure.
so on and so forth. However, if she's not satisfied in the bedroom and she's not satisfied anywhere else, then yes, she's
Yeah.
gonna do something about it eventually.
And I've heard that up to 65% of women, if not more, have to finish themselves.
Yeah, I'll increase that number for sure. Yes.
That's fucking nuts, man. I got to tell you, if we were together and I had to finish myself 65 to 70% of the time, sorry, baby, but it wouldn't take me long to either say something or to get
Go
out.
elsewhere. Yes,
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
without a doubt.
Absolutely.
It's just not right. And men could do such a better job if they just slow down and pay attention. And another big thing that women said is kind of like, it eludes to sexual dissatisfaction is overall affection. As you say, just being listened to. It's women, a lot of women complain like, he just doesn't listen to me.
No.
Your sister was talking about her divorce, and he said it just got to the point where no matter what I said to him, he didn't listen to me. He wasn't paying attention. I felt like blah, 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 blah. And eventually, it takes its toll on
Yeah.
things.
You start to feel unimportant to
Right.
that person.
Right.
And there is nowhere to go from there.
And that's unfortunate, because it really isn't that difficult for a husband to listen to his wife. I mean, when you speak, you want her to listen to you, right? It's
Right.
nice when you have ideas and she participates. She gives you her feedback and gives you all this thing, but so you should reciprocate. And
Yeah.
it's alarming the number of men who don't.
Because unfortunately, whatever the woman says for a guy, whatever she's saying is not important. It's stupid. It's irrelevant. It's mundane. But it's not the case.
Well, I can give you some perspective from a guy. We just don't like to be told what to do. We listened to our mothers until we were 18, but we have to realize, like, this is not my wife. I mean, this is not my mother. This is my wife, which should be treated in a different context.
Absolutely.
And I have to say that I was guilty of that in my first marriage. I really didn't listen to my wife at all. But, you live and you learn, you mature, and now I listen to you. I don't agree with everything you say, and just like you don't agree with everything I say, but we listen.
Right.
There's conversation.
And it's always important to get to the middle ground of it.
Yeah.
So you have your point, I have my point of view as well. So let's meet in the
Right,
middle.
like if we want to sleep around, you should be able to sleep around, and I sleep around.
You're
we just,
funny.
we just come home at night.
Yeah, you're funny. we meet somewhere in the middle.
There you go. So the number one reason, the fourth top reason, is revenge or anger. This is a bad one. I've seen movies like this. I've never really seen this in real life, where the wife, she gets cheated on. Let's just say the guy's fucking her sister, and then she goes to fuck his brother. What's big with women is I'm going to go fuck your best friend. That's big.
The tit for tat thing. I don't think
Yeah,
that will end
that's a
well.
road to nowhere. You might as well just leave.
Yes.
Might as well just leave, because women can be vengeful. I haven't seen it, but I've heard it. There was this woman. I'm not going to say her real name, but there was this woman who I was seeing, and then I started seeing another woman, and she didn't want me to leave. She didn't, she wanted to date me. She wanted to be with me, and she didn't want me to be with the other woman. So the other woman at the time was dating this guy. We'll call him Dick.
Perfect name.
Dick. We'll call him Dick, okay? So the other woman I was dating was seeing this guy, Dick. And so because my girlfriend, my ex, didn't want me to be with the new one, she wanted somehow to get even. So what she did is she went and fucked Dick.
But Dick was the exes, your new girlfriend's exes.
Yes, she was the new
Okay.
girlfriend's ex. So
Okay.
I don't know how it got together in her head that, okay, I'll fuck Dick and I'll get back at him. I found out about it. I certainly wasn't happy about it, but I'm like, why would you do such a thing like that? And, you know, in the end, it just made her look really bad.
Yeah.
Bad. Like, you're going to do that just to get back at me? No, that's just some. Look, I'm not saying I am saying it's wrong. It's wrong. But I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of bullshit about this. A lot of women say, well, you shouldn't have cheated on her. She wouldn't cheat on you. Well, whatever the case may be. And they're always going to say, well, you didn't want it done to you. You shouldn't have done it to her. Well, I understand that. But there's a difference between if I cheat, and I wouldn't. Let's just say somebody cheats, and you just cheating or the other person cheating just to get back at them.
But she wasn't cheating on you. Nobody was cheating.
Well, I'm
here.
putting it within the context of cheating.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so let's just say, for instance, I cheated on you, and now you're
Right.
going to cheat on me just to get back at me.
Okay.
Does that seem right to you?
No, it doesn't.
No.
But let's say I go out because you cheated on me. I go out, I'm depressed, I'm sad, all over the place, and then I meet somebody and something happens.
Okay.
And then you go.
But you genuinely like this person. You're not doing it just, well, he fucked her, so I'm fucking him.
Well, who knows? Everybody goes through different states of mind at certain
Nah.
times, and especially after being hurt from their spouse cheated on them.
Mm-hmm.
You go out, you are feeling awful. You feel a little bit like powerful.
You think
less than powerful
You
at the
think
same
you
time?
think you're gonna feel any better though after you suck some dick?
Definitely not. Definitely not. No, I think
That's my point.
That's not the solution. But if it happens, it's because the situation where that person was in was put in by the
I
cheater.
understand, but you're talking about people cheating for two different
Yeah,
reasons.
no, it's
One is cheating maybe because they're not happy in the marriage. I want out.
Yes.
I'm not condoning cheating. It's wrong. The other one is cheating just to get back at that person.
No, if the whole objective
To
is
me,
I'm gonna
it's
go
like-
out today to cheat because he cheated on me, yeah, no, that's fine.
Doesn't seem.
But if it happens because I'm out and I'm depressed, I'm sad, and whatever, somebody lifted my ego, then and something happened, then okay.
Well, yeah, those are two entirely different reasons to cheat, though.
That's
It's hard to
not-
defend him in any way, but I just think it's dead. I just think it's worse if you go out specifically for revenge.
Yes, yeah, I don't think nobody goes out to do that.
Oh, I do.
No,
Hell yeah.
It's not normal. Let's put it that way.
I
not
agree. It's
normal.
probably not normal, but I think there are a lot of people who do it.
Yeah.
Nobody I'd want to talk to.
Yeah, no.
But now the fifth one. The fifth reason, or the top reason people cheat, ego and validation seeking. This is huge. I would actually put this at number 2. Ego and validation. I mean, from a man's perspective, that's it. Because ego and men go hand in hand. Validation and men go hand in hand. Most men want to sleep with as many women as they can. They're using, what is it, the frontal lobe or the side, whatever the part of their brain that's lacking reason and better judgment. That's what they think about when they think about a woman. They don't think rather. They just, the opportunity's there. I'm going to do it. Maybe their wife is at home, not telling them that they look good, smell good, or whatever. And all it takes is one woman or man to say, oh, you look very pretty today. Nice smile, nice cologne, nice perfume, nice shoes. You look nice, anything at all. Anything at all. That's ego and validation because you're not getting it from your partner.
Stupid. That's my answer.
It is stupid. When you consider if you're really truly in love with somebody, it should be effortless to give them compliments, to touch them, to give them affection so they feel like they're validated every single day. Their ego is not looking for additional justification or validation. You know, there's a saying that I heard a long, long time ago. One man will never be enough for a woman with low self-esteem. And the same thing is true,
Vice versa.
conversely, with men. One woman will never be enough for a man with low self-esteem because you constantly need that validation.
Right. So I was about to say, same scenario. If that person is like that, regardless of how much love, affection, affirmation it's given at home, that person will still seek
That's right.
somebody else, somebody new.
That's right. That's why I tell people they feel so bad when they get cheated on. I say, it's not you.
No.
It's never you.
No. Yeah.
It's always the other person because a person of true character, they're not going to cheat. They're going to have a conversation. And if the relationship isn't going to yield what they want, they're going to leave.
Right.
They say, you know, this isn't for me. You're a great person, just not for me. And then you get out. You don't cheat
Right.
to kind of like, you know, you don't cheat to just kind of like,
both worlds.
to just supplement
Yep.
what you need in your life.
Right.
And, you know, it's easier said than done because, you know, a lot of times when people cheat, there's a lot of history there. You know, they have the kids, the house, the family, and all that other stuff. So it's tough to leave all that. The financial security, the emotional security, whatever may exist at that point, it's tough.
But there is always a way. So you have the conversation, you probably separate for a little bit, and then, you know, everybody does their own thing. She's able to, because she's aware of what he's about to do. So he can do both of them.
You would think that, hey, we're having a tough time. Why don't we take some time off for each other and then revisit this in a few months? You think that will work?
It is better than going cheating.
I disagree.
Well, if both spouses are on the same page and they know what they're about to go through, which
they
is
should just get divorced or go to counseling.
Yeah, but you just said yourself that is difficult because of the family, because of business, because of the kids. So if you are in that scenario, okay, let's take some space. Let's take some time apart to see how we do in 2-3 months or in 1 month or in 20 days, whatever it is.
Really?
And then let's reconvene. Yeah, I much rather do that and say, I did that. We tried. We tried whatever we could instead of saying, I call it quits because he wants to fuck somebody else. Makes no sense.
I would say let's have a conversation about this, and I certainly wouldn't be bringing up, hey, look, if we don't have a conversation, I'm going to go fuck someone else. I would be like saying, hey, look, you know, I'm not really happy in this marriage right now. These are the things that kind of bother me, and have the conversation like that. If we can't come to some sort of agreement, middle ground, whatever, you got to think seriously. Okay, maybe it's just time to go.
Sometimes, and you and I know perfectly that out there is nothing good. The dating scene out there is awful.
That's for sure.
So if you are out there doing whatever it is with other people for 1, 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you will realize quickly that there is nothing out there.
So wait, you're saying that if I were to say I was unhappy and you're unhappy too, so we split for 2 or 3 months, we could sleep wherever we want, and then get back together? Hey, are you fucking mind?
That's a possibility.
No way.
No, but listen,
get the fuck out of here.
Listen, when you sit down and you have a conversation about what can we do, and there is no way to get to a middle ground.
Yeah, we're done.
Okay, so then
we're not going to go out and fuck and then come back.
No, okay, so then, well, this is an option that for you and I it's not feasible, but for somebody else might be.
Well, how would you do that though?
A divorce.
How would you do that though?
Yeah,
you'd really be okay with splitting up for 2-3 months, knowing I'm sleeping with someone else.
But I'm not giving our situation. I'm giving somebody else's condition that probably will be able to benefit from some time apart. And nobody says that you're gonna cheat. It just means let's take some time apart.
So let's talk. Let's just talk like, you know, theoretically about the ground rules.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's just say this applies to us.
Yes.
Our marriage isn't going too well.
Right.
You know what? Let's do some time apart. Okay, see you in 3 months.
No, we don't do that.
No, we don't do that. Okay, now we don't do that. But 10 minutes ago we did.
No, I'm not talking about the two of us. I'm talking about other people that might be able to.
Okay, but you wouldn't want to do something like that.
No, I wouldn't. I don't believe in that.
So with that, is that advice you'd give your sister?
Yeah, why not? It works for people.
You think?
Yes, 100%.
Have you ever seen it work for somebody?
Divorcing. I've seen people divorcing and then getting back together years after.
Years after, yes. Years after, I think that can happen because time does its thing. You know, look, Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee got back together after like 10 years apart.
Right.
Granted, it didn't work, but I've seen this stuff on TikTok where people they break up, but it's years. No, not months.
I've known people that have done it for months only.
Yeah, see, I've never heard of anybody doing that, and I wouldn't be a part of that.
So we go back to the dating scene out there. It's garbage. There is nothing out there. So what do you want to do? Just want to just test it. You think the grass is greener out there? By all means, go try it.
I think this would be a good one for our listeners. So I got to tell you here, obviously, folks, we are at what's this called? An impasse. The immovable object meets the unstoppable force. I don't think splitting up for 2-3 months works. I don't believe that would work in any situation. Clearly, because I would be so vehemently against it, so adamant. But get the fuck out of here! No way. We either work this out right here and right now, or at least set a path or some sort of plan or strategy, or we're done. We're not going to split up for 2-3 months and then do whatever the fuck we want and then get back together and see what happens. Get the fuck out of here. No way. I would love to hear from our listeners.
Okay.
Okay? The question's simple. Do you think a married couple for, say, being together 10 years or so, do you think it's a good idea for them to split up for, say, 3 months and then attempt to get back together? I say no. I say if you have differences and you can't resolve them right then and there, split up. Go about your life. Live your life. And then who knows, maybe our paths cross again years later after we've had time to exhaust everything, after we've had time to experience this and think about that.
So when you say split up, is getting a divorce.
Like if you and I had a conversation and we still remained at odds, I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, this isn't going to work for me the way. It would have to be some real like fundamental shit. Like I'm talking like stuff that's really, really important to me.
Yeah, that we can solve
Not just
together.
like you burned my grilled cheese.
But after COVID, a lot of people went through losing jobs and changing their habits, their way of living, and so many people found themselves living together like 24/7 all the time, not going out. Period. Right?
Yeah.
And they either got in each other's nerves, or found out that they really love each other. One of the two.
Yeah.
But they had to, and so many couples do this as well, that instead of getting a divorce because of financial reasons, they will share the home. You'll do your thing, I do my thing. We are separated, right? But living under the same room. A lot of people did this or are doing this.
I know, but I'm talking about you personally. Is that something you could do?
No, we already said no.
No, we already said no.
This is not going to happen.
You hear that, folks? We said no.
It's we. We don't do that.
That's right.
We
said no. I don't think I said no, but I did. But we said no.
Yeah, we said no. But many people resort to that because it works. Because you don't want to throw everything out there, everything away for going to meet somebody that you think is going to be good, but ends up being a nightmare.
I would love to hear from our listeners on this one. Please, folks, drop us something in the comments, the DMs. I would love to hear your feedback on this. If you think splitting up for 3 months is a good idea. I think no. She thinks yes, but not. We don't think so together. It's not a good idea for our relationship. Yeah. But maybe it's a good idea for yours. So please, for yours rather. So please, this is. I'd really like to hear this, and of course, we'll share your feedback. On the subsequent shows, we'll gather all this and include everybody in the conversation. This is going to be interesting.